Yo! What's good, man? How y'all doing out there? What's poppin'? Welcome in. Yes, sir. Yup. How y'all doing out there, man? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome back. How y'all doing? Yup. Welcome in, baby. How the fuck y'all doing today, man? How the fuck y'all doing today, man? How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday, y'all. Happy hump day. Yup. No, Chloe. What's that mean? What's good, Elijah? What's good, Go? How you doing? Hello, bro. What is you saying, bro? Yo. Brother, I swear you be speaking a whole different language sometimes, bro. Man, how's everybody doing out there, man? How's everybody doing out there? And welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, we are I was thinking about this a lot the other day. You know, if you saw the thumbnail, we're going to be talking a lot about Kawhi Leonard today. We're going to be talking a lot about Kawhi Leonard. I have Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor of all time. But that's not what we talking about. That's not what the conversation is, right? That's not what the conversation is. We're going to talk about what ifs, right? Some of the greatest what if stories, some of the greatest what ifs in NBA history. And we're going to be talking about Kawhi Leonard. Where does he rank among small forwards all time? So, you know, we'll be talking about those topics today. But first, right? First, we'll talk about Johnathan Kuminga and the Golden State Warriors. This was as of this morning, right? As of this morning. This is coming from Shams. Golden State made renewed push to retain Johnathan Kuminga, but the restricted free agent continues to decline a 2-year, $45 million offer due to Warriors' insistence on a team option and waiving a built-in no trade clause, sources tell ESPN. So that's certainly not really much of a development. I want to say, you know, I would love to say that there's a big development in that. But it's really the same spot that they were in before. Honestly, I'm surprised that offer is even at a 2-year, $45 million offer. What I'm assuming the Golden State Warriors are trying to do is a 1+1. A 1 year plus the second year being a team option if they want to pick up the rest of his contract. Essentially trying to get him to play up and then getting him at a discounted rate in that second season. And also having him waive the no trade clause which I didn't even know he had. Let's see. Let's see what this says about him. Honestly, you know what's funny? Because I think I said it the other day, right? I said it the other day, Elijah. At this point, if you are Johnathan Kuminga, I would I would do everything I can to just get out of this situation. Apparently there's been negotiations, and this is coming from ESPN. Um, this is coming from ESPN. The most significant negotiations have been with the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns, getting proposals up to 4 years, approaching $90 million in total, including a player option for the final season, sources said. Phoenix has made the most lucrative push via sign and trade. But the Warriors have been uninterested in the trade returns from the Kings and the Suns for Kuminga, sources said. In recent days, they have begun signaling a plan to cut off sign and trade conversations entirely, using their restricted free agency leverage to the fullest. Sources said their current stance is that Kuminga will be on the Warriors roster to begin next season, either through their 2-year offer on the table or the standing $7.9 million 1-year qualifying offer, which is Kuminga's preferred path. Kuminga prefers the longer-term offers presented by the Kings and the Suns because he believes they signify a fresh start, a larger guaranteed role, a promised starting position, and a greater level of respect and career control, shown in part through the player option. Sources said Phoenix's proposal is also nearly $70 million more guaranteed than the Warriors' offer. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on with this deal, and I think, you know, if you're the Warriors, right? If you're the Warriors, you would want to get a good amount of value back, especially if these teams are offering him a starting role, 70, 80, 90 million dollars. You know, if you're the Warriors, understandably so, you'd want to get something in return. And from their perspective, they're like, you're under contract. Right? From their perspective, you're under contract. You know what's funny? People get mad at this, right? People get mad at this. I started rewatching The Last Dance. I started watching Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls The Last Dance. I'm in the middle of episode 3, I think. So they started talking about the Scottie Pippen contract. And he had signed a deal, a long-term deal, because he wanted security for him and his family long-term. That was a decision that he made. Right? That was a decision that he made at that time. There was a boom. There was a boom in the NBA, right? Money started going up. And it didn't happen early on. Eventually, Michael Jordan got his $30 million contract. But prior to that, he wasn't making anywhere near that. So, Scottie Pippen was upset, right? Going into their 1998, their final season, their 6-ring season, he held out. He held out against a team and a roster that had the opportunity to go for a three-peat again. He held out. And their owner, right? Their owner literally said to him, "You signed a contract. I don't want to hear anything about a fucking contract until you have to sign a new one. You signed this contract. Whether you think X, Y, and Z changed or not, this is the contract that you signed. And you have to fulfill that contract. You have an obligation to fulfill that contract that you signed." And obviously, that team had broke up after, right? No one ever talks about that. You know, we were talking about we were talking about Tom Thibodeau, right? Tom Thibodeau getting fired. Like, think about that with the Chicago Bulls. Jerry Krause going into that final season, going into a second three-peat, said, Phil Jackson will not be our head coach after this year. Whether we win 82 games and win the championship or not, he is not coaching the following season. Just, I guess, to give a little bit of an insight into the interpersonal relationships that exist between the management and the team. Right? Those things exist, and if people don't like each other, unbeknownst to us, that motherfucker's getting fired. Like, that's just as simple as I could put it. That's just how things go. And to wrap it back to this Johnathan Kuminga situation, it's not just Johnathan Kuminga. It's not just Johnathan Kuminga. It was like we saw this with Jimmy Butler. We've seen this with Kevin Durant time and again. And we've seen situations where teams have helped these guys, right? Teams have helped players get to where they want to go. Give them a contract. We've seen it. But the reality is everyone doesn't look at it that way. And when you're speaking to a owner who understands business and numbers and contracts, and you are contractually obligated to do X, Y, and Z, and you're going at him talking about, I deserve blah, 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 blah. I want to get traded. They don't, that type of language don't, it doesn't really like relate to them. They can't even understand where you're coming from. Because to them, you signed that contract. Now, whether you play above what that contract is, that got nothing to do with anybody. You put that on the table for your following contract, but not the one at stake. And, you know, we've seen some guys like a Jimmy Butler get everything that he still wants, right? And I think it's been routine for all of us to look at these organizations and these these owners and management and just say, fuck it, throw $40 million away. But like, let's call it what it is, man. Let's just call it what it is. Even if you are a billionaire, you're not just throwing money away. We're talking about a lot of these billionaires don't live. Oh, I'm gonna have the AP. I'm gonna have all of the role. Like, they don't live like that. So yeah, to them, throwing 20, 30, 40 million dollars away is a lot. It's significant, right? Even though to us, we're looking at it like that shit don't matter. They don't look at it like that. That's why they're billionaires, right? That's just the reality of that situation. Yeah, it was good. Black Canadian was good. Was good. I would go to Lakers or Pistons. The Warriors have also done a lot to hinder Kuminga, and they have. They absolutely have, right? They absolutely have. But here's the reality, Elijah, right? And you could call it fair or not. That's just how shit goes sometimes. He's not the first player to deal with this, nor will he be the last. He's not the first person to deal with something like this in a workplace, and he for damn sure will not be the last. Right? There are people who are in real life dealing with layoffs constantly here and there, getting put into positions where they don't believe they're at an advantage, right? They feel like they're getting put in situations where they're at a disadvantage, and let's not lose sight of that aspect when it comes to these NBA players. Yes. I know we try to humanize and relate things, right? Make things relatable. But I mean, luckily for him, he has a path other people don't. And if this is what he has to deal with in order to kind of get to where he needs to go, right? Hopefully for him, right? The thing about this, hopefully for Kuminga, that demon inside him has been brewing. That's the real downside for the Warriors. That they are literally creating a monster by the way that they have treated him. Right? For his sake, I think that would be the greatest response. Right? But if he goes out here and drops a dud and proves the Warriors right, then it'll look really weird. It'll look really weird. Agreed, it's not fair, but I highly encourage him to take the pay cut for another team that he could help that would bring him the spotlight to get the money later and compete while doing all that. I'll be honest with you. If I were him, I'm not going to the Lakers or the Pistons. I'm sure there's another team he could probably try to go to. If from the sound of it, he wants to be in a situation where he's basically number one or number two option. Like he sounds like he wants to get up 18 to 20 shots a game. And realistically, that's not in a winning situation. Right? We could say, oh, he could go to fucking Denver or something, or I don't know, pick a team. Right? To try to go help them and fill in. But I think he wants the opposite of that, actually. Not to say that winning isn't important, but I think he just wants to hoop. I think he just wants to go out there and play ball. And I think he understands now, if you're in a situation where the team is trying to win, you're not a priority on their list. Right? You're not at the top of that list in terms of their priority. Where is let me see. Seen in Let me see. Where was this video I seen the other day? I'm trying to find this video. Hold on, guys. I think it was one of these two. Let's see. It was one of these two.
When I first
I have no clue where he's gonna find that. Me neither, bro. But let's take a look at this real quick.
got there, I was shooting a lot. They didn't reel me in real quick. They let me do it. So they waited till I had an off game. As soon as I had an off game, they reeled it in real quick. Spo was like, hey man, that one dribble pull up, that ain't what we want. That's Chris Bosh setting that screen, picking and popping. That's Ray Allen standing over there. You know who Ray Allen is? I'm like, yeah, that's the all-time three-point leader. That's Dwayne Wade. That's the franchise leader in points over there. You came off and shot a pull-up three while they watching you play. That ain't how we want to play. And I was just like, but coach, I can make it. And he looked at me and I said, never mind. I said, you right, Spo. Because I wanted to play. Because they'll put you on that bench and bury you. So if I didn't do right, that's what would have happened. Yeah. And I ain't want that to happen. So I'm like, you know what? Cool. You ain't got to say nothing else, coach. So early in the clock, I'm coming off, throw it, run to the corner.
See, that's why you was perfect for Miami, because I would have shot the layup.
Yeah. When I first got there.
So that gives you some insight into you are going to be in a situation where my internet just go out or something. Okay, cool. But that's really the only way you'll ever be in a situation where you're on the floor with an Anthony Davis, you're on the floor with a Kyrie Irving and a Klay Thompson, and you can look them off. Because everyone has an understanding that you're supposed to be the next star. If you're not that, it's a slow build, right? It's a slow build. And there are some guys that get it, and there are some guys that just don't get it. And I think that's what Steve Kerr has alluded to in all of these videos, that Johnathan Kuminga is a little bit resistant to that way of thinking. And it's so backwards, right? It's so backwards if you really think about it. Because if you're an up-and-coming player and you want to be a star, you think you're good enough to be a star, to be one of the top players in the league, you got to take your shots, right? You got to take your shots. You're looking at it as, you know, Steph is 34, 35, 36 at this point. Like, hey, listen, bro, like, this ain't 28-year-old Steph we talking about. This ain't 29, 30-year-old Steph we talking about, right? This is a different Steph Curry. I need to be able to perform so I can help out. And they keep telling you no, 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 no. And the problem is, sometimes once the NBA puts a label on you, it's really hard to take that label off. Like, it's really, really hard to take that label off. James Harden was a sixth man of the year. Right? Sixth man of the year player. Excuse me. And, you know, he goes to Houston after that situation with OKC where, let's call it what it is, he was massive for them in the playoffs. He's against the Spurs. He was unreal, right? And he understood that he needed to show up in that first game in Houston and ball the fuck out. And that is exactly... that was exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. Pookie was good. Derpy was good. How you doing? How you doing? So, you know, James Harden double in his first game as a Rocket, 37 and 12. You know, just, and again, trying to shift that narrative on him. Right? Trying to shift that way of thinking and the way that people see him, because once you get a label on you, it's hard to take off. Think of Lou Williams. Think of Jamal Crawford. Think of Manu Ginobili. Like, once they got these sixth man of the year labels, they never got rid of him. Right? It's hard to break into that next step and then that next step and then that next step. Like, the hierarchy in the league, it's kind of gatekept by management and coaches, right? Because there's money that all of these players that are getting paid that everyone is aware of, which naturally creates a hierarchy on the team, right? Naturally creates a hierarchy on the team, especially for the offensive players. So, you know, a lot of those things take precedent. And then, you know, you get some of the accolades, the things that the players are known for. And once you get known for something, like a role player, a corner guy, a bench player, 6 minute, once you get labeled one of those things, it's really hard to break out of it. And I think Johnathan Kuminga, luckily for Johnathan Kuminga, he doesn't have those labels, because he's been mishandled so badly by the Warriors that there is no label for him. There's no actual label for Johnathan Kuminga and what he is right now. When he goes into a new situation, we'll see what he does, but I think that's when we'll get a clearer picture as to who Kuminga will be in this league. But until then, I mean, he's just left on a back burner, bro. He's just stuck. He just stuck, bro. No, not that. Oh yeah, these rumors are false. All right. So I wanted to talk about this, man, because a lot of people, when they do some of these rankings, I think a lot of players get lost, right? I think players get lost on it. And, we were doing our all decade. And if you look at Kawhi Leonard, right? When you look at Kawhi Leonard, his overall numbers are, it's not the most impressive in the world, especially when you consider that there are other stars that have 20+ thousand points, in their back pocket, right? Multiple scoring championships, because that's who Kawhi Leonard ended up being on the Toronto Raptors. But it really got me thinking, because there's this thing in the NBA, right? There's this segment of players in the NBA that we call what ifs, right? These players are players who got injured most of the time. Honestly, in all of these cases, these players got injured, and we never got to see, we never got to see the full extent of their talents because of their injury. So we only got to see a small sample size, or a smaller sample size, of what they were able to do, which lets us play in fantasy world and say, well, if this person were in a different situation, or if this person were healthy, they could have done X, Y, and Z. And, though it's the same names, right? It's the same names that get brought up every single time. We're talking about Grant Hill, right? We're talking about Grant Hill. We're talking about Penny Hardaway. We're talking about Tracy McGrady, right? We're talking about Derrick Rose. And I do believe that those guys warrant the what if conversation, because they really were great in their time. But I also think that, to an extent, because their careers were cut so short, we get to just create any scenario, right? I'll be the first to say, when it comes to my favorite player growing up, Tracy McGrady, I think he's benefited from that quite a bit, if we're being honest, right? And 7-time All-NBA, 7-time All-Star, 2 scoring champions is nothing to that. I don't, in my opinion, that's nothing to just sneeze at, right? That's nothing to downplay. But because of it, we get to imagine MVPs or championships or what could have happened, right? And I want to just go. I just want to show the highlights of these players because I think these guys were unbelievable first and foremost. So let's go through them. This is my favorite player, you know, growing up, T-Mac. This guy was the fucking man.
Remarkable athleticism. That is head high on the rim. Kevin O'Neal's done a terrific job there. Brady turns.
Bro. Is this on Orlando's thing? I don't know if that's copyrighted music or not. So let's just do that real quick in case that's copyrighted music. But this guy was absolutely unbelievable. T-Mac was a great basketball player. This guy was real good. Let's take a look at some Grant Hill highlights. Why not?
Jordan on Hill. See how much bigger Hill is than Jordan. A good 2 inches. Hill drains this one, the ball with a long range shot. Grant Hill, at least apparently, early in this game, struggling with his wrist.
They know what to do with this guy when he first came in the league. He's frying Chicago shit right now.
5 out of 6 from the floor. It's hard to miss.
He is frying Chicago.
That's hard to say. Easy for me to say. Grant Hill on the penetration.
Oh, you take all of that, Scotty. Scotty like, fuck. Bump. Woo. That's a good pass.
Locked down to 10. Grant Hill on the penetration.
Oh my God, they didn't know what to do with Buddy. They didn't know what to do with Buddy, bro. They didn't know what to do with Buddy. Let's see some Penny Hardaway right here. Let's get let's top 50 play. Let's get we got hit with the ad cheese.
Imagine being
we did get hit with some ad cheese.
For any reason, in any style.
Does he have moves or what?
Now a run out chance. Here comes 2 easy ones, baby, right now.
Oh
my. That is some verticality, folks.
This guy Penny.
Look at the concentration in Askin's eyes. Hardaway with a jumper.
Yo, players still don't do that. Insane. That's that's fire right there.
You'll certainly hear the crowd sometime in this first period. Hardaway, who has been the man in the absence.
Woo!
57 left, 68, 64. Hardaway, oh, baby.
What a heck of an effort.
What a pass. What a pass.
How do you stop that? They go right into Shaq, who's double team. Hardaway's down.
Oh, my God. So he was also absolutely unbelievable. And then let's take a look at some D Rose, man.
The all-star guard, the hometown kid from Chicago.
Crazy, all of them played for Magic too. Oh, I didn't even think of that. That is crazy. Well, I mean, Grant Hill, did he really play for the Magic? What is that? Aim slots. Welcome in. How you doing?
Also looking to take the next step.
Let's look at some Derrick Rose, man.
Right there. Attack the basket off every pick and roll, but
he can play the 3 on the 4. When he
This guy was unstoppable also.
It's tough to defend. Rose, after having the ball batted, makes a spectacular play. It's right into Scalabrine. Noah keeps it alive. Taken away by Rose. Rose to Bogans. Back to Rose. Nice return pass.
Oh my God. Yo, when he was hitting his jump shot, he was unbelievable. When his jump shot was going down, you are not stopping him. Wait, Ben Gordon, very slept on player. That guy was a walking bucket on Chicago.
Notice that anytime he's on him, Rose. Oh, what a shot! Circus shot. Oh my goodness. They try to open the floor up a little bit. The screen set by Joe.
Oh my God! Yo, this guy is insane. Absolutely insane. But like I said, I think all of those guys are great what ifs what do you guys think about Kawhi Leonard being a what if? And I'll explain myself in just 1 second, but let's take a look at this dude, man. This guy was...
You had a little bass in your voice.
Leonard adding some bass to the rim.
Kawhi, I tell you what.
0 for 5 in the second quarter after his 4 for 4 in the first. His pull-up jumper is good.
Woo.
Not an easy look, but Leonard able to hit it.
Woo.
He thought Lowry might have tugged
He
it.
had such a robotic game, but he was so efficient when he was hitting, man. He was so efficient when he was hitting.
After January 31st. Leonard whittling inside, finishes, and the foul.
This is against a very good defender right here. Just look at him. He's just so strong.
Yo.
And he finishes with both hands around that basket.
By Gordon. 5 to shoot. Gordon hanging. Leonard fading and hitting. Green, one of the best.
Youngest MVP, definite what if. I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. All of those players are absolutely what if stories. Right? Derrick Rose, definitely a what if, and all of them would be ranked much higher had they been healthier for more of their career, right? Obviously. The reason I bring up Kawhi Leonard is this. When we have these what if conversations, right? We talk about what if because we're saying what if they could have been higher on the list, meaning more All-NBA selections. Maybe they have some award statistical trophies like points, steals, whatever it is, right? Assists. But at the end of the day, outside of Derrick Rose, amongst all of those guys, excluding Kawhi Leonard, right? Derrick Rose is the only one that got an MVP. Everyone else were saying what if they were healthier and they could have gotten an MVP, right? But including Derrick Rose, there is no actual proof that had they been in a situation to win, that they would have won or that they could have won. The reason I'm bringing up Kawhi Leonard in this is in the very short time that Kawhi Leonard was healthy, he's a 6-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA player. He has 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 7 All-Defensive teams, 2014-15 Steals champion, to go along with 2 NBA champions and 2 Finals MVPs. The reason I say Kawhi Leonard is this guy would be flirting with top 15, top 10 all time. That I guess that's kind of the point that I'm getting at. And there's actual proof with San Antonio that he could play a role and be successful. With Toronto, he proved that he could also lead a team and be successful. And so if you think of his career being longer and being healthier for more of it, maybe he gets a scoring champ. I doubt it the way James Harden was going in some of those years. 34 and 36 in 2 years in a row is unbelievable. And then 30 the year before that. But you're thinking there's maybe more steals champs, maybe another defensive player of the year, maybe a regular season MVP. But those things seem a lot more plausible when you look at Kawhi's body of work. That's just what I'm arguing. He adapted that Tim Duncan type of play, little to no flashy plays, and yet almost robotic. Kawhi is not a what if. If he did have a career and he did achieve not a what if, I also doubt his availability. I was sold on it being out of his control, and I still am, but I do like how him and PG magically played a lot of games in the same year for a contract year. Well, I guess for me, the reason I'm saying Kawhi is a what if, because there's actual evidence that supports when you say Kawhi could have been a multi-time champion, Kawhi could have been a 10-plus All-NBA player, 10-plus All-Defensive player, maybe 3 or 4 Defensive Player of the Year. We are literally, we possibly missed out on watching a top 10 NBA player. Like, we literally, I think, missed out on it. I don't think he can lead a team. He was the head honcho, but leading is tough to give. He plays 60 games on their championship run. I think you're kind of proving my point here. Like, we didn't get, and you know, I don't know if you're misinterpreting lead a team as being like the vocal leader, because he wasn't that. I just mean by example and by play and production, he would be unquestionably the best player on the team. And you're talking about a guy who quite literally did it on offense and on defense. I just think compared to all of those other players that I mentioned, like a Derrick Rose, like a Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, and a Penny Hardaway, who are all great, I think Kawhi actually had a chance to be a top 10 NBA player of all time. And unfortunately, because of injury, I don't think he'll get there. To me, he's the reverse PJ Tucker. You assemble your team, then get K, but instead of being the glue guy, he is the superstar punch. But see that, like, again, I think the reason we're saying that, or the reason you're saying that, excuse me, is because we saw such limited, like, we saw him in spurts, right? We didn't get to see Kawhi Leonard 75 games a year for 8-9 years straight. And what could have happened had we seen that? That's all I'm arguing. Because in the 60-plus games that he would play and in the finals and in the playoffs, the guy was unreal. And based on the statistics and the accolades he already has, I think it's pretty safe to say he would have been a top 10 player of all time. Well, by that definition, yes, he can be the best player on a team. He has proved. What I'm trying to say is get the team, then get K, and try to have him lead. I get what you're saying, like a rebuilding structure. I don't, but that's a personality thing. But in terms of just the purely basketball, I think, I was looking at numbers. I'm looking at his accolades compared to everybody else, and I'm like, yo, this guy really could have been. I'll put it this way: he'd probably pretty easily be ranked ahead of Kevin Durant, if people don't already. I know people don't do that, but we're having Jokic kind of just jump over everybody. We're having Giannis kind of jump over a lot of people. Kevin Durant has already had his career for the most part, but Kawhi Leonard, had he had his full career, I think he would be above all of those guys. Like, truthfully, you're talking about a guy that would easily have double digits in all NBAs, all defensive teams, and probably all stars. I mean, that's just the reality of who Kawhi Leonard would have been had he played enough games in more seasons. Let's take a look at it together, actually, here. What if he didn't leave Toronto? Another big what if. All right, let's take a look at this right here. So these years he would have been good except for one, I believe, right? 64 game minimum. But after then, right? After that, injury year, right? Which was right after, 13-14 was when they won the finals. But right, when the injuries started happening, he's not. I think at the time he was actually eligible, even at 60 games for these awards. I believe he was 6th in scoring this year. I believe James Harden averaged 36 that season. But again, I genuinely think he would be in a totally different conversation had he just been healthy the entire time. I agree. Yes, when Kawhi is there, yes, he really is like that. I agree on the Raps. If it was just he was available, never doubted his production. That's all I'm saying, Elijah. That's all I'm saying. Right? Because there's that doubt on whether he'll show up. It's all Fachulia's fault. I'm weak. It's all Fachulia. I'll be honest. Tracy McGrady is my favorite player. Is my jersey over here? I don't even think my jersey's here right now. Where is my T-Mac jersey? Where's my throwback T-Mac jersey? Hold on. Listen, y'all. Tracy McGrady was my favorite player growing up, bro. I got the throwback with the stars jersey. This is my shit right here, bro. Right? That's my favorite player. And I personally think, not to say that he wasn't great, but we get to really play in fantasy world when it comes to some of these guys, right? We really get to play the what if without actual things to back it up. And I think with Kawhi Leonard, he showed enough to when we talk about some of these what ifs, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think he would literally be a top 12 player minimum had he had a solid 12 years of being relatively healthy. In my opinion, missing 15 games a season is fair. That's about a month. And the contract year, he managed to play 68, so he made it, but a lot of the other years he fell outside the 15. That's hard for me to ignore. And this what if, that's just hella convenient. So you don't believe he was hurt the whole time? I mean, honestly, I can't imagine that there actually wasn't something wrong. And, in a contract year, you could also understand, Elijah, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility that there's 5 to 10 games where you probably couldn't have played and you forced yourself to play just to get out there for that contract. That's also very possible. And that's, as we've seen, that also leads to a lot of injuries, right? If let's just call that what it is, right? That's a part of the game, unfortunately. Kawhi missed all of 2021, 2022. We're looking at 2 entire seasons that he's missed out of his 13 years, due to injury, pretty much. And then some of those years in between, he was coming and going, and it's just hard to build rhythm like that. If he would have stayed on the Rap, maybe we get one more, but we would probably be an absolute mess right now. I think the current roster we have now would be better than whatever roster we would have if Case stayed. But I mean, that's really hard to predict. That's really hard to predict. But just based on this guy would have been all time. I believe he was hurt just the same amount as the contract here. He just found ways for him to figure both play and still be productive. Him and Paul George. I mean, we're seeing with the Paul George situation, right, that clearly this guy hasn't been healthy. Clearly this guy has had lingering injuries year in and year out, and he hasn't fixed it. Quite the opposite of what we've seen with Luka. excuse me, whatever the hell Luka Doncic is doing right now, whether it was getting bounced out in the first round, he's doing a hell of a job, right? Whatever Luka Doncic is doing is great. And then I was reading that during the EuroLeague games, it's like 10, 11 games. Bro, that's perfect. That's perfect. Think about it, right? Think about it. Let's say he rested through most of May, started working out, maybe started taking Ozempic late May, June, whatever the case may be, right? By like the end of June going into July, we already started seeing photos of him looking different, right? So let's safe to say all of June he was training, June, July, and then the games start August and September, right? So he's been able to train June, July for a good 2.5 months straight of just straight training, right? He recovered at first and then trained for the last 2.5 months. He's been unhealthy in the NBA for like the last 2-3 years. And then he gets to go and play 10, 11 games against good competition. Going into the NBA season, listen, bro, this year it's a wrap for anybody. I understand. I swear I do. If you're injured, don't play. He doesn't have a what does that mean? Deteriorating knees, so it's legit. It won't get better, and he will have issues after playing, but magically fixing everything contract year. I mean, he played 50. He played 52 games the year before that, 68 games. That contract year that you're talking about, I believe. So it's not like he played 20 games the year before. I'm sure he was probably still hurt that year before coming off injury, and they just figured a way to get 16 more games out of him. That's why I respect guys like Brunson, Russ, Braun, etc., who can play these games. It's a skill. No, that's facts. But I think everyone's also just built differently. Right? For one player, a sprained ankle might be more detrimental to another one. You just can't. Like Jalen Brunson, I think he rolled his ankle like 5 times during the playoffs. Right after he missed a month because of a sprained ankle. And kept playing and hitting game winners in the playoffs, right? Like, it just, you take another player that same rolled ankle, they might be out. Like, it just, everybody is different, right? Every player is different. I get warrior mentality. Like, I get that part. But again, everyone is a little bit different. A lot of load management. I really do wonder if that's the problem. I wonder if some of these guys just aren't playing enough basketball. Right? Like, I've never heard... Like, people are talking about Luka Doncic, right? He's been training and, he's going to play 11 games before the NBA season starts. Like, dog, he's fucking 25. Like, we're talking about an additional 11 games is too much for... Listen, when it was the Olympics, he wasn't healthy. That was my beef during the Olympics. He was limping. He was limping when he got to Paris. Like, he was limping when he got there. So that's totally different in my opinion. I'd rather have Kawhi than Kuminga. Facts. Get him off the team, Warriors. I'm with you. I think it's better for both parties, Bruce. If you just they just gotta part ways. I'd rather have Kawhi too, but yeah, I think there's been this narrative that, we gotta rest everybody. I think these guys aren't playing enough. Some of them. Right? There's something to the overtraining, but when you look at some of these accounts from players, they're not training that much during the year. It's like not stretching, not practicing, and then going out and sprinting. You gonna pull something, but you gotta do that. I think it's a mix. AAU, greater demand, different culture, etc. Okay. How many games are people playing in the AAU circuit? How many games are kids playing in an AAU circuit? Right? How many of those top talents get hurt during their AAU games, during their AAU playing days? College. But all of a sudden, when everyone is in the NBA, where they're traveling more and by accounts of a lot of players practicing less, all of a sudden everyone starts getting injured and everyone's dropping like flies. Yes, is there a healthy bit of rest that players need? Absolutely. But if you're playing 50, 60 games in an NBA season and think that all of a sudden you're going to turn it on in the playoffs where it's more intense, more physical, you're going even harder, your engine ain't prepared to go like that. Like you not prepared to go run at that speed, right? If I had to go out today, I haven't been running. If you told me to go out today and run an 8:30 mile, I would break something. I was able to do it when I was running then. I couldn't do that today, right? Because you got to build up to this shit. And I think there's a lot of, I think the Knicks are a good example of that. I'd rather have Keegan Murray than Kuminga. I'm weak. I played like 4 or 5 a day. How many guys were getting hurt, Elijah? How many guys are getting hurt? Because you're practicing all of these movements constantly throughout. Because you're constantly, working out on all, you're constantly practicing these movements. Right? And I think a lot of this comes from guys are cold, and then they're and then they're going into the most intense basketball games, overexerting themselves, and boom, you pop some. Kawhi is just trying to get the most money possible, but his body is shot. Bruce, what you think? You think Kawhi would be a top 12 player all time and he had like a 12 years of good health? He'd have more All-NBAs. He'd have more Defensive Player of the Years, more All-Defensive teams, maybe an MVP somewhere in there. It's very possible. Would he be like a top 12 player of all time? Maybe flirting with a top 10? More kids are getting hurt in AAU, and that was only one reason. I think it's also things like we used to ask drop coverage. Now we ask 300-pound Joel Embiid to stop and start with the likes of Garland and Morant. Well, I think bigs have always been injury prone. I mean, I've always believed if you get a generational big man, their peak will be like 5 or 6 years of absolute dominance, right? If you get someone the size of Shaq, every other year then is, every year after that is a blessing, in my opinion. But the big guys, I think in any time period, Elijah, I think bigs would have had injury problems. If healthy most of his career, Kawhi top 5 all time. All right, Bruce, I'm arguing that Kawhi might be the biggest what if of all time because there's actual proof that he could have been that dude compared to a Tracy McGrady, a Grant Hill, a Penny Hardaway, even a Derrick Rose. Even though Derrick Rose got an MVP, we don't have proof that those guys would have gotten a finals MVP, that those guys would have gotten all of these other accolades. But Kawhi, there's proof there. And that's why I think and he would have been flirting with a top 10 for sure. Well, AAU is very broad too. I could go deeper. Like back then, guys would play multiple sports, but today they play only basketball, or like you say, player build habits while putting up mileage, like not stretching. Not that is true too. I just a lot of these stars, you don't hear about some of these major injuries coming up. It's when they get into the NBA and when people are saying they're not practicing as much during the season is when they come and run into these problems. We back, had a meeting. What's good, Black Canadian? Kawhi has a top 5 playoff performance of all time, at least top 10. He's the huge just what if, because he could literally potentially be the GOAT. That's what I'm arguing. Like realistically, and I'm not trying to downplay Derrick Rose. I like please don't take this the wrong way when it comes to Derrick Rose. How many MVPs does Russell Westbrook have? Like Steph has 2. Like there's no promise that a Derrick Rose type of player gets another 2-3 MVPs or that he can lead a team to a championship. There's just no guarantee because there's just no proof of that through the history of the NBA and with what he was able to show, unfortunately, with the short period of time. And then when it comes to the other guys, Penny, T-Mac, and Grant Hill, there's no proof that they would have been able to lead a team to a championship. And then unlike those guys, Kawhi has the defensive player of the year. Like the only thing Kawhi would have been missing that I would say is a big what if would have been scoring titles. For me, that would have been the only thing when it comes to Kawhi where I'm like, I don't know how many of those he would have been able to get. Because that would have definitely pushed him further. But everything else, like Kawhi would be like actually a top 5 player, top 10 player easy of all time. Kawhi has bad knees since college. Getting triple doubles are hard, and players back then to get and did. But from what I understand, there is more and more pressure to get them now for players. This adds more stress on their bodies. Also, some guys just don't play and they should, but majority of the league does play when they can. I don't know, man. We'll see. Derrick Rose was great, but he wasn't going to be the GOAT. We have no proof, and his play style wasn't sustainable for that. I'm going to take it the wrong way if it's about Rose. Listen, Elijah, I've been cooking my favorite player all episode long. We're good. We're good. Right? T-Mac gets to say a whole bunch of shit because he got hurt. Like, let's just call it what it is. There is no proof. T-Mac would have got MVP. Right? He maybe could have at one point, but he didn't when he was younger. Like, it's just, unfortunately. But Kawhi, we saw with our own eye, our own 2 eye. We saw that shit in real time. If Kawhi got MVP this year or wins a chip and finals MVP, it gets very confusing for the GOAT convo. Everyone gets cooked. All right, I'll put it this way. At the very least, right, he would have, in terms of accolades, because we're thinking he has maybe one or maybe he gets a scoring title, maybe not. But if Kawhi had a full healthy career, he would at least be at like Kobe Bryant. He would at the very least, in terms of comp, in terms of accolades, he would have ended up roughly around Kobe because he would have had over 10 All-NBAs, over 10 All-Defensive. Cooking Rose is almost hate speech. Who is cooking Rose? Who is cooking Derrick Rose? If Kawhi gets another Finals MVP and wins it for the Clippers, he in the top 5 over Magic, LMAO. Wait, hold on. I actually want to have that convo. If he were to win another one, if he were to win another one, he'd be right behind Bird. He'd jump right over Scottie Pippen. He'd jump right over Scottie Pippen. Honestly, he might already be over Scottie Pippen. No bullshit. Like he might already He might be over Scotty. It's just, you know, Bird got them 3 MVPs, bro. He got them he got 3 of them things. He got 3 MVPs. No, it doesn't get tough for the GOAT convo. The Clippers chip will be ranked as the hardest of all time. That chip gets a huge buffer. I don't know if he get. All right. Let's. I know he dragging it. He not getting GOAT convo. If he had a healthy career, I think people would definitely be talking about it. Which actually, it brings me to this part. I thought you were about to. I tried to preload the D-Rose defense. Kawhi better than Scotty all time. Gang, no, nah. I don't cook Rose. I kept it real. I got a question then. I got a question. I got a question. All right. See, Canadian, no. He's one of the best what ifs ever. I'd say maybe number 2. Yeah, I think Kawhi. It's Kawhi is unreal. But I was gonna say, like, Russell Westbrook, man. Let's put this into perspective for Russell Westbrook. And again, this is no disrespect to Derrick Rose. Russell Westbrook has 2 MVPs, right? Has 2 scoring titles and 2 assist titles, right? That's what that man had to do. Wait, is that 1 or 2 MVPs? Am I blasted? Oh, he has 2 All-Star MVPs. He has 1 MVP, and he had to get a triple-double to do that. Like to me, like, there's just, like, what Derrick Rose would have had to do to get another MVP would have been astronomical, because Russell Westbrook was doing ungodly shit and he was barely winning them. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. Vince Carter up there too, because that man did not try. No, that don't get to count as a what if. Motherfucker, go try. Like, don't tell me you didn't try and say what if. Motherfucker. Realistically, it's kind of crazy to put Chris Paul over Westbrook. To me, Chris Paul is not over Westbrook, dog. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Like, what? Like, bro, no. Like, there's just absolutely no way. I was doing when I was doing the 2010s, cause Chris Paul's numbers through the 2010s was still unbelievable, like his accolades and everything. And I'm like, dog, like, there is absolutely no way in hell Chris Paul is over Russell Westbrook. Like, it's just no way. Like, there's just no way. Like, this guy was unbelievable, bro. I like to break it down like this. The story of basketball needs to have a reason to include you in the story. You cannot tell the story of the NBA without Russ. You can easily bypass CP3. See, I mean, that's one perspective. On the other hand, Chris Paul is essentially the last thread to that traditional point guard, right? Everyone that's come in throughout Chris Paul's career since what, like 2000, like 8, 9, everyone has been a scoring point guard. Chris Paul, for the, you know, has been the only, pretty much the only one, right? No one plays like him, and he's the one keeping that thread alive. And obviously this is looking ahead into the future, but if Halliburton keeps doing his thing and comes back healthy and does his thing, and we get more players that come in that play more like Chris Paul, then I think that'll make it a lot more difficult for you to bypass him, right? For being the sole thread that, you know, that kept that line alive between the old basketball and the new basketball. But again, I said that's kind of looking ahead. But I get what you're trying to say, though. I get what you're saying. That's the only thing that ties him to being any convo. He has no real accolades. I mean, he has. I mean, when it comes to rankings, them all NBAs still count. And it's like saying if this player didn't have their one weakness, they'd be perfect. We can't even say he's better than Nash because Nash won 2 MVPs playing his style. No, I agree. I think there's if AI was 6'6", the world would be on fire. I also think he would play different. But again, to get back to just Chris Paul really quickly, I think, like, obviously you get the longevity in Chris Paul versus the 2 MVPs of Steve Nash. But to your point, right, Steve Nash, if we look at it for what it is, he's a better shooter and he got the MVPs playing that style. So, are you trying to say that Chris Paul is overrated? Is that what you're trying to say, Black Canadian? Is that what you're trying to say? I will give Chris Paul a lot of credit, though. That man knows how to win. Granted, it's not championships, because I don't think he could have been the head of the snake. If he had been paired up with an all-time great, I think they would have done some absolute fucking damage. Like, I think if he was on a team with Kobe, I think he would have looked at Kobe and said, "You gonna average 40 this year, dog," and he would have done it. I genuinely believe that. But he never got that situation. But he ended up with Blake Griffin. No disrespect to Blake, but Blake was supposed to be the MVP caliber player next to Chris Paul, but that just wasn't the case at that time. It's tough with CP3. I love CP3, but yes, in the conversation of greatest NBA players, he's slightly overrated. If he got that chip with Harden, he would be ranked so much higher. If he got to play with Kobe, he would be a top 15 player of all time. No, that's facts, but if you look at the ranking, he above Scottie Pippen, so him and AI ranked above Scottie Pippen. Yo, shit's crazy. That's why Scottie Pippen looking all mad and shit. Yo, I started watching The Last Dance again. As I was saying earlier, man. Scottie was mad as hell. Scottie mad as hell, dog. Scottie mad as fuck. Cause MJ over there looking at him like, come on, bro, just play. Don't hold out. Don't hold out, bro. Meanwhile, MJ's shooting 28 fucking times a game. Meanwhile, this motherfucker, whether I'm on the floor or not, he taking 30 shots. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I got AI like just inside the top 50. Same with Chris. They have him in the 30s in the top rankings list. Listen, I'm working on the most unbiased ranking of all time. I got y'all, man. I got y'all. Adam Silver. Kawhi, a bus rider. Whoa! A bus rider? He's not the bus driver? Adam Silver. I got some questions about that. Adam Silver just gave Kawhi Leonard the silver trophy. Unbelievable. Yo, see, like, why you gotta say that, Black Canadian? Shout out Kamish. Yeah. Oh my God, man. That's funny. I never thought I'd see the day. Me neither. Oh man. So you know, to try to bring it back to today's NBA. What do y'all think? How do y'all think the NBA would look? 2019 Raptors played GSW without Clay and KD and what? Played Ben Simmons. How a good team goes 7 games versus Ben Simmons. Oh no, Adam Silver, you about to get Black Canadian started. Yo, don't get him. We gonna have to add a whole nother hour, man. Yo, don't get him started. He's gonna start talking about the Raptors defense. Stop. Don't let Black Canadians start talking about the Raptors playoff defense. Stop. He can't even spell Ben Simmons. Ben is never getting hired again. Never. Not even as a not even as an assistant coach. Nah, I'm straight. This is comical. It is. Production wise, bus driver. Availability wise, still bus driver. But I could see how someone would say bus rider. Ain't no way. That defense was the GOAT though. Hey Adam, give me clearance to stream these games, man. Give me clearance to watch party these games, Adam. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Give me clearance to watch party these games so we could turn up together. I promise I'll be on my best behavior. I promise. Do you guys think the NBA would look any different? Right? Do you guys think the NBA would look any different had Kawhi Leonard been more of the face of the league during the 2010s? What do you guys think about that? Do you think, sort of the effect that Shea is having right now? Everyone's talking about his mid-range. Do you think that Kawhi could have impacted the way the game has been played had he been healthy those years? I think it's very possible. We talk about a copycat league. Excuse me. Once one player is able to do something really well, and players are like, oh shit, we got to do that. Especially Kawhi, who he could really shoot the 3 ball. I think that's something that's really underrated. Everyone talks about his midi, but his 3 ball was also very good in my opinion. But yeah, I think he definitely could have shifted the way some things could be going in the league had he had a fully healthy career. And I think that's super interesting to think about. Now, I want to hear who y'all got as your picks for MVP going into this upcoming season. I know who I got. I know what my propaganda is going to be all year, bro. I got my propaganda locked and loaded. Listen. I'm not even no Lakers fan. Listen, I don't even know if I'd necessarily even call myself like a Luka fan. But Luka getting MVP this year, man. like, yo, what are the chances he averages 36 this year? What are the chances? Man? He got LeBron waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. to be the greatest power forward of this season. Literally could have had 50, 40, 90 seasons and only didn't win MVPs because of games played. Yeah, the only thing that there was no proof of throughout the whole season would have been scoring titles. Right? Imagine a year where Kawhi... I mean, if any player, a scoring title, MVP, defensive player of the year, like he would literally be in a Michael Jordan conversation. That's the only thing. But on the other hand, oh, Luka, my Luka, please be my GOAT. Listen, yo, Black Canadian, what do you think that man about to average this year, bro? I think he about to look like a video game. I'm tuning into every Luka game this year. I swear to God, bro. Especially the shitter teams. Oh, my God. Oh, buddy. Yo, Utah, you better watch out, Utah. Any one of these teams, y'all are getting absolutely cooked, bro. They're getting fried for sure. You guys, what do you? I feel like Luka averages like, because LeBron is gonna still be on the team. Austin Reeves on the team. I feel like Luka averages like 31. He averaged like 28 his 1 year there and has been lower ever since and before. The only reason I wonder if he wouldn't have is because James Harden was averaging 36, Black Canadian, 34, 36, and 30. So that's what he would have been competing against. Not that he wasn't capable. Not that he wasn't capable, but he was competing against James Harden going absolutely bonkers in Houston. So that would have been my only thing with his scoring. And the Lakers Comcast channel favorited LMAO. Yeah, no, it's about to be a movie for Luka this year. All right, a Lakers chip? You think they got enough of a squad to get a chip? Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reeves, Bron. James fell off after 19. He really did for sure. He started moving around after that. Yeah. That's when he started. He went from 36 to 20. It's crazy drop off, bro. Crazy drop off. I almost wish this Lakers team. Well, I really think Luka's about to average 32 this year, man. I'm everything considered, man. With LeBron gonna get his like 24, 23. Austin Reeves gonna get his 20, 18. Probably 18. Yeah, Luka averaged a cool 32. I could see it. Kawhi would have been in Toronto 2013, 2018, 2023-ish. Now, that's facts. He could have won one of those years. No, yeah, because the scoring had gone down a little bit. They really are good enough to win now. The league is weak, and if Luka just has a Luka series against the Thunder again, it's a chip. Literally in Luka's hands. No, I mean, I agree with you. I'm just wondering if the team is enough. I think Luka by himself is enough to get an MVP this year. I think like he gonna have the biggest backpack. Everyone jump in the backpack. And I think I was talking about it earlier. The fact that he gets to play 11 games. The fact that he gets to play 11 games, because what's gonna happen is he's doing all this training. He's lost all this weight. They said he's jumping 42 inches, which I don't. When the fuck did he ever jump 42 inches? I don't know. When the fuck did he have a 42-inch vert? But I'm sure he's a little quicker. Some of his movements are a little bit. So he needs to understand his body going into the year, right? I think he could overshoot, certain stuff. He needs to understand the body contact. He's going to have less mass to throw around. So, I think all of those things are important into getting into rhythm. And when you talk about 10 to 11 games of high-level basketball going into the year after training since June, he's going to be in damn near mid-season form by the start of the regular season, which I think is going to be really scary. Meaning he's going to be the early lead for MVP. It's not even going to be close by the first month. I genuinely don't think it's going to be close by the first month. So something to look out for. We saw him in the finals with a team of basically randoms. He didn't know. I would say it's in Luka's hand, but I also don't think the team is sufficient. Luka healthy is good for a Western Conference for finals. He was proven that since he was 20. I need Luka to find a good steroid doctor. Braun hasn't hooked him up yet. Yeah, they gave him the Ozempic first, Black Canadian. They gotta go like one step at a time. We can't just go straight to the steroids. Like we gotta, you know what I'm saying? A slow build. We gotta build the story. Right? We gotta build the story. He gonna get beat up after he lost a little bit of weight, and then they're like, oh shit. this was the year he put on more muscle. And then he looks like motherfucking LeBron next year going crazy. You know what I will say though, like when we talk about Kawhi, we have to mention missing games. No, absolutely. That's why it's a what if story. That's why it's a massive what if story. Because I think he would, like I said, he'd be flirting with all time. Adam, we know. Can you please get him a doctor? I know. Please get him a doctor. How old is Kawhi? How old is he actually? Ty Lue can only do so much. Damn, Kawhi is 33 though. Like with all of those injuries at 33, just missed an entire season at 30. That's tough. That's tough. If he wins a chip with the Clippers, oh my God. With Luka in town, oh my God. Actually, wait a second. If he wins a chip and across the city is Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers, that is extremely impressive. We need Kawhi to get a brain chip from Elon Musk to play good. Whoa! Breaking news! Elon Musk is in business with the NBA. That's crazy. That's crazy, Adam. I won't tell nobody. Your secret is safe with us, Adam. I promise you. But I'm really looking forward to Luka this year. I think it's probably Bron's last year. I'm sure they'll probably announce that closer to when the season starts. Which and we've never seen this before, right? What do you guys think how will two what's the word? How will two like retirements in 1 year, like LeBron and a Chris Paul, like how do you think that'll go? We're gonna have two guys that we're gonna be that's gonna have their exit ceremonies all year. Is that gonna get a little weird for the league? Man, that gets a little sketchy if we got two guys that are getting their farewell tours in the same season. That's gonna get a little sketchy. There's gonna be a team at some point that's like back to back, or at least in the same week, where both of those guys are gonna have their last games there, and they're gonna have two of those games in 1 week. Yeah, that would check me the fuck out, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hey, if they having a farewell tour, check me out that game. You either check me out that game or let me shoot 35 times. Like, there's no in between, bro. You sold me. Kawhi's the GOAT if he wins this year. If he pulls an MVP spot, finals, and finals MVP, he's my GOAT. DPOY. What the fuck are you saying? In my 2K, Chris Paul tore his Achilles first game of the season, and Bron had his tour alone. There's definitely foul play. Yo, they're supposed to be homies. I know they haven't talked about that in a while. The Banana Boat crew. What are the odds you think Bron call him up and say, "Hey man, check this out. I'm the GOAT." Listen, Chris, you're great, but I'm the GOAT. Check this out. I'm having a farewell tour. You're not. Click. What do you think? What are the chances that phone call happened or will happen? What do you guys think the chances are? Hey, buddy, listen. I know you're trying to have one of those. Listen, you're not the GOAT. I'm the GOAT. I see what you're trying to do. I see the vision. That's probably how he started it. That's how I. Hey, what's up, Chris? Hey, how's LA? How's the family? Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, it's your last season, right? Yeah. No, I see the vision. You went back to the Clippers. Yeah. No. All that stuff is cool. This is my city, though, motherfucker. Yeah, all that farewell tour shit is dead. I'm having one. Hey, all them little assists you had is cool. I'm the GOAT. I could give a fuck about you and your little State Farm commercial, dog. I could give a fuck. So, you not having a farewell tour. I'm having a farewell tour. I already called Adam. You don't even got to call Adam no more. I already did it for you. So, yeah. No, we're going on vacation after, though? Yeah. Bet. Peace. I'm assuming that's how the phone call happened. Cause I know I be talking shit about Ron. If I was Ron, that's what I would do. Hey man, don't try to have a farewell tour with me. You better play one more year. Imagine Chris Paul playing one whole other year to have a farewell tour after Bron. Bron on the phone like, motherfucker, you should have done it this past year. What are you doing? He dead just had the best roster in the league for damn near 5 years. I'm definitely trolling, but he can be talked about as being better than a lot of current players. It was the best roster because of him. We got Adam in the chat. Chris better be ready to sign a 2-year contract if Bron retiring this year. I swear. There's no, yo, I'm telling you right now. Yo, listen. I'm all the way a buck, bro. All the way a buck. I'm keeping this all the way a buck, bro. If we have farewell tour games on back-to-back nights or in the same night, I'm cutting that shit off. Listen. I am cutting that bitch off. You hear me? If we're doing a live that night, if we're gonna watch party, I will end my stream. I promise you right now. If we plan it ahead of time, I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna do this night. If I have to watch a farewell tour in back-to-back nights, I am cutting that bitch off. I promise you. That's just what's gonna happen. I'm trolling crazy. No, they were also the deepest. ESPN has fired Shannon Sharp. And Norman Powell said their roster was better than the Raps team, but that one, so fuck the Clips. Wait, when did he say that? Probably better overall personnel. Bro, what? We had the most impromptu Toronto Raptors episode, y'all. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait. I'm not. This got nothing to do with nothing. And I'm not trying to laugh at the situation, I promise. Listen. I hope Coach Prime is good. I hope Dion is good. But I wasn't the only one watching this confused, right?
We better be happy right here. We happy.
I wasn't the only one that was watching this confused, right? It wasn't just me. Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Right, we good. Everybody good? You good too? Yeah, I'm good. We good. All right. Everybody got to perk up right here. I can't be the only one come back. All good in there? Everybody good?
We're all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here.
All right.
What? So, dog, I'm watching this thinking they're about to tell me what the relationship is. They don't say a fucking thing. I am so confused still. Hey man, listen, that was not what I thought I was. I did not expect that. That's not what I thought I was about to see on the timeline. I said, what the fuck is she doing there? Like, I hope he's good. I hope he's good, man. I hope he's good. I really hope he's good, man. I truly, I really hope he's good, man. But prayers up to him. Prayers up to him. Oh man, did I see something the other day that had me fucking dying, bro? Let's see. I feel like I'm in like a trolley mood right now. Let's see. See if I find it. Where is this? Wait, I'm not posting the video. Wait, I'm not gonna play the video, but did you see what happened at the WNBA game yesterday? Wait, did y'all see? Wait, it just got really out of here. Wait, did y'all see? Did y'all see what happened at the WNBA game yesterday? Please tell me y'all saw what happened at the game. I don't even think I could pull the video up. Like, I swear to God, I don't think I could pull the video up. But if you didn't see it, a fan threw an object on the court. And the reason I'm saying object is because it wasn't appropriate. It wasn't appropriate. I'ma just say what it is, man. I'ma just a fan threw a dildo on the court, man. Like, there's a lot of things that you could throw on the court, but the fact that you took the time out of your day to go and grab it, put it in your shit, go to the game after you purchase the ticket, walk in through security, and then throw it mid-game. Threw it on the court. Did it fall out of one? No. They threw that bitch on the court. Like, it got chucked onto the court. It was bouncing around. It was... Yo, oh no, bro, do not pay them. I thought they were, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Nah, people are wild. Yo, what's wrong with y'all folks out there, man? Yo, what's wrong with these people out there, Black Canadian, man? See, it would be crazy if it was used. Yeah, like I bet you them folks didn't even clean that shit before they took it out and threw it on the court. Now there's stains all over the floor and shit. Now it's not just sweat stains on the floor. Now it's a little bit more than just sweat stains on the court. Now I'd be mad as fuck if I slip and fall. I don't know if that was sweat or not. If I were to slip and fall, I don't know if I'm slipping on, on sweat. Wait, is this? wait. Me saying I'm slipping more than sweat had me think of this. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna have to end this because I'm starting to be in a super trolly mood.
Story short, I'm on an island this big. I'm rapping, beating everybody. All the was loving me because I was some skinny, pretty boy on the island. I only had to fight one. Got that up out of this. I had to fight some in the bathroom. No homo. We slipping on semen.
Yeah, this was the situation at hand at the game.
In the bathroom, got that out of there.
Oh,
this is parts of the story that I don't like to tell because it don't sound believable. Not only that, what I got to prove by telling I've been on the island, I was in jail. That don't mean nothing to me. That's not what it's about. I had
there was more than sweat on that floor. Hey man, don't be doing that shit, man. Don't be throwing no shit on the court, man. Especially, yeah. Don't be. Nah, see that shit happens in them dirty bathrooms though. Yeah. But don't be throwing no shit on the court, man. Like now you banned for life over a dildo. Just insane to explain that detail specifically. Nah, he was after they was fucking with me because I'm like a skinny pretty boy comment. Like it was after that comment, which is what made that other comment insane to me. But alright, man. Alright. Oh man. Alright, we've been live for a minute now. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck. See, on that note, Black Canadian, before we get canceled, I'm getting the fuck off. I'm not even reading that. See. I gotta stop reacting to your ass. Every time I react is when you start going crazy. I'm gonna start ignoring you, Black Canadian. I swear to God. See, it's always that one friend that gotta take it a step further, bro. It's always that one guy. Always. Oh man. See, it's not worse than that one dude that came in here talking crazy that one time. There was one dude that came in here talking wild one time. I'm not. Hey, but listen. oh, if y'all missed it, by the way, let me pull this up actually real quick. If y'all missed it, bro. If y'all missed it, yesterday we did the 2000s versus the 2010s. The game was lit. The game was OD lit. The game was lit. The 2010s ended up winning the game. James Harden hit a massive three. He did it before already? I think James Harden hit a big three on Kobe. This is his first free throw. Where was it? It broke my heart, bro. It actually broke my heart that he hit this shit, bro. It actually broke my heart. This broke my heart that he hit this three on Kobe Bryant, bro. It broke my heart. I was so upset. Bro. But the 2010s are up 1-0 on the 2000s. We'll see what happens in game 2 tomorrow. Was I on? Wait, hold on. What just happened here? Dang, Sharp was fired by ESPN. I tried to look that up real quick. I didn't even see that. Was I on when he was? They throwing mandingos at women. See, dude pressed his money up for flat cheeks, Brucey. Oh my God. I just looked this up. Hold on. Oh, this literally just happened. It literally, it's not, there isn't even like an actual article. ESPN parts ways after it got settled. Damn, she cooling off that 50 mil now too. Fired in 5. Yikes. Woo! He's been with the network since 2023. Yo, that's crazy, man. Because I feel like he had such a short stint at the top. Like, Shannon Sharpe was at the top of this media thing. He was at the top. Why would you pay $50 million to someone if it was consensual, my boy? That don't even add up. Jesus, man. Well, GG's to him, man. LeBron might give him a job. I don't know if that's the kind of job he's looking for. I don't think anyone gonna be hiring Shannon Sharpe freaky ass right now. They gonna cool off. If he go back begging for Skip for a job, oh, that'll be sad. Oh, that'll be a sad sight to see. That will be a sad sight to see. But let me see. Is there anything else here from Shams? Shannon Sharpe, did it come out he paid the full 50 mil? That was apparently the settlement. $50 mil is crazy. It says they settled on 50 mil. I don't know if they give that out in one shot or if it's like over a period of time. Shannon Sharpe needs to give his life to God, seriously. He needs to do a lot of things. Another one says 23 million. I don't know what's going on. In other news, the kid that played football and shot the building up in NYC apparently has CTE now. He wanted to date his wage, bro. They sued for 50, but they usually settle for less. Yeah, there's one thing that says it was like 23 million. I just seen one video of someone saying it was 50 million. If you look it up, all it says is 50 million. But to your point, it does say that they sought out 50 mil. The terms of the settlement remain confidential, so we actually have no idea how much they settled on. Wow, that's tough. That is tough. Bro, 23 is insane and realistic. I believe that. Yeah, I feel like 20 to 30 mil sounds like a lot more probable. Was former Hills Charter high school football player. Oh, it was a high school football player. Motive for the shooting is unknown. Brother, what is going on out here? That's crazy. She got anything over and wanted me, he definitely raped. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what would you have to pay her out for? If you were already paying for consensual sex. Like that's the part if you were already paying for the services, what you got to pay out for? Like, for what? How do you even justify that much? I could say my life is fucked up. I could say they could say mad shit. That's greedy as hell. She don't even know what 10 mil look like. I mean, that's the game. Meanwhile, Gilbert Arenas got arrested. Yikes. Got arrested? Former NBA star Gilbert Arenas arrested on suspicion of running illegal high-stakes poker game from his mansion. Wait, hold on. You can't have high-stakes gamble games in your own house? wait, hold on. Wait. I mean, y'all know I fuck with Gil's content. But wait, hold on. You can't bet high stakes money with your homies at home in your crib? That makes sense, Canadian. If I was a judge, though, I would not have it. I mean, if I was a judge, I'd be looking at you like, why the fuck are you in this position to begin with, bro? That's just me. And if you actually raped her, then you deserve everything. Like, that's just what I think, bro, personally. But former Washington Wizards star and three-time NBA All-Star Gilbert Arenas was arrested Wednesday on suspicion of running an illegal high-stakes poker game out of his mansion, the U.S. Attorney's Office revealed. Arenas, 43, was hit with 3 charges following the arrest. He was given 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. He was one of 6 arrested in connection with the alleged poker game. One of the other men arrested, Yevgeny Gershman, is suspected organized crime figure from Israel. Wait. Yeah, I'm reading it right now too. Arenas will appear and be arraigned at the United States District Court in downtown Los Angeles on Wednesday. This story will be updated. Wait, hold on. Wait, you can't have a high-stakes poker game at your house? With homies and sort of homies? Like, that's not allowed? Wait. I didn't know that wasn't allowed. That don't mean to have a business because a couple $100,000 got moved this one night. That don't mean it's a business. That just means a couple $100,000 got moved that night. Like, what? What? Doesn't the NBA advertise gambling? No, they're mad because they didn't get a cut of whatever money was there. That's why to them it's illegal. Every single breaking news popped up when we was about to get off. Dead ass. Shannon Sharp really fumbled the ESPN bag from OnlyFans girl. Yikes. Start a second live, brother. We are still going. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know what's going on. But wait, hold on. That's a serious question. You can't gamble at home with the homies? That's not allowed? That's not allowed? I'm wondering how they even got word of that. I'm wondering how they got word of that. I wonder if it's like they was following the dude from Israel. I wonder if somebody was talking shit about it live. Like, yo, I just got 600,000 from playing this poker game last night. And they're like, oh, we need a cut of that. Hey, all that shit's cool. We need some of that. That's not a properly operated business. Mind you, Shannon Sharp made $23 million from NFL. That's his complete NFL earnings. That goes to show you how much more he was making post-career. At least DeAndre Ayton played it smart. Like, bro, yeah, these cats, I don't know what these cats is doing, bro. I don't know what these cats is doing out here, man. Excuse me. Excuse me. Wait, what is this? Wait, this also just happened. Marcus Morris Sr. remains in Broward County, Florida jail after appearing in court and being denied bond in a case where prosecutors have said he owes $265,000 to 2 prominent Las Vegas casinos and bounced checks to pay those bills off. Morris was arrested on Sunday in Florida and made his first appearance in court, where his attorneys asked for a bond, saying that his being out of jail would speed up the resolution of this matter. Reports TMZ Sports. The judge denied the request, saying he would only release Morris for extradition to Nevada or if the arrest warrants were withdrawn, likely because the bill was paid. Morris did not speak during the proceedings. His brother and fellow NBA player Markieff Morris was in the courtroom supporting him. Markieff had previously posted on social media supporting his brother. Markieff said, "The wording is crazy. Damn, for that amount of money, they'll embarrass you in the airport with your family. They got y'all really thinking bro did some fraud shit. They could have came to the crib for all that. When y'all hear the real story on this shit, man, all I can say is lesson learned. Bro will tell y'all tomorrow. This weird shit gave me a headache. Can't stop nothing." The amount of money is $265,000 according to courtroom documents reviewed by TMZ. Morris reportedly got a marker for $115,000 from MGM Grand Hotel Casino in May 2024, and in June of that year got a $150,000 marker from the Wynn Hotel. In both cases, Morris gave the casinos a bad check to cover the money owed, and those bounce checks led to fraud charge for writing bad checks and the arrest. Because of the sums involved, these are felony accounts. These guys make too much money. I seen Ant play $100,000 for an abortion. If you do that, you got way too much money. Wait, for money in the airport? No, I think they picked him up at the airport. I think they picked him up at the airport. That's why Markieff Morris was talking about, oh, you embarrassed us. Honestly, y'all wrote the bad check. Like, where is the accountability? Like, that be my question. Where is the accountability? Where is the accountability in all this, right? If it was a real genuine mistake, cool, we'll get the money, we'll fix it. But if not, then you clearly did it for a reason, and that just is what it is. If you had a reason, cool, but you still did it. Like, it just is what it is. They gave my mom a hard time for bringing money through the airport. Oh, okay, might be Bruce. No, I don't think that's what it was. I don't think that's what that was at all. Wait. Wait, hold on. Look at this headline, y'all, because and you kept saying OF Bruce. This headline looks crazy. Yankees acquire OF Austin Slater in trade with White Sox. Like, wait a second. Y'all are trading different types of talent? Kind of like how AI don't stand for Allen Iverson no more. Like, shit is changing, man. Shit is changing. But I think that's everything that we got. We got one got fired and 2 arrests that we just spoke about. So crazy times, absolutely crazy times. Look at how Luka looking fucking good, man. Look at this motherfucker, bro. He looking like Aaron Judge out here. This brother looking like Aaron Judge out in these streets, man. But hey, check this out, man. That will actually do it for me for now until we get some more news. But check this out. Tomorrow night, we'll do game 2 of our 2010s versus 2000s. I think tomorrow we'll actually do it earlier because I believe we have plans tomorrow night. But so tomorrow I will be live again to do the game. If there's some more news between now and then, we'll talk about it. But thank you guys so much, man. Before I get out of here, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel out. Y'all already know. Y'all are the GOATs, man. Y'all are the GOATs. 57-year-old Shannon Sharpe ruined his own career by overly yeah. You summed it up. But Thank you, Elijah. You're the GOAT. Black Canadian, thank you. Derpy, I appreciate you. Aim Slots, thank you for popping in here earlier. Bruce, I appreciate you. Y'all are the absolute ghosts, man. Thank y'all so much. As always, y'all already know y'all could have been anywhere on the internet over these last 2 hours, but y'all were here with me, man. And I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So truly, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. That's going to do it for me for today, man. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all, man. Have a good one. Peace.